Well, I think that's where we start. I mean, first of all,
that'll be that solution. I don't mean to get the solution.
To actually find these people, I think, is not going to be easy. But the way there are routes, there are recognised people who have already established reputations in this particular field. The reality is that the law in the UK will change so that accountants now who are aware of these issues must inform their clients that they have to make a declaration. If they don't do so,
then they're culpable.
The accountant then has to make that declaration.
A question.
So the answer's got to be that under, I think, both our law codes, a solicitor, a lawyer, attorney would have client privilege. Consequently, the route now is to go to the lawyers and say, look, you're going to find people knocking on the door because the accountants, because we're going to tell them, are going to say, hey, don't tell me a thing.
Are you considering
You just
changing?
gotta
Are you considering changing your official
I think
your official place of business?
My official place of business, we think, will eventually be in Marbella.
Now, last question. Do the accountants do the negotiating too, or they really don't? Sounds like since you started out as an accountant or working for an accounting firm, do the mid-range accountants do it?
No, I started out working for the revenue, so I got.
Oh, really?
I
So you
to
got
right
the.
to the very
Oh God,
top,
your credentials are impeccable. Aren't
Yeah. So what I do is I take over the negotiations. It's the analogy I use, Jay, is a GP referring the client to a specialist,
Yes.
and then we hand him back to the accountant in one piece.
Well,
but he's received much better service from us, much better advice from
Very
us.
interesting.
We should have fun with this.
Yeah, you'll have fun. We get it. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Cool, guys. All right. Let's see who's next. Hold on 1 second.
How about everybody stand up for a stretch?
Take a 5-minute stretch break. But I wanted to see if there was enough for everybody. Are they good? Okay, I'll have one in a little while. Thank you. Thank you. I have one. Yeah, this one. It's cool. Thank you. Okay. All right. This is cool. This is fun. Okay. Let me swallow real quick. So, first of all, to all of you, you're doing great. This is the first time we've split this process because we want you to be more familiar with everybody before we bring them up. I think tomorrow and the next day will be really cool when we start doing the actual makeovers. But we have 7 more to do before 8:30 or 9. Got your little energy. We'll try to be fast and focused. Hang in there. Make notes. Don't get tired. Don't get disengaged. Listen to our questions. Listen to their answers. Think about direct and indirect implications. I can't talk. Make notes that are not abstract, and because we're going to talk about it before you go out to dinner at the end of the night. Okay? So everyone sit down, please, who's over there, or walk outside, because I don't want to be distracted. We will do now, this is wrong, or is it? Brett, where are you? Come on up. No, don't bring them all. We're going to put them. How many you got? 21? Why don't we just all go in the audience? Sit down. How you doing, man? Good. What a grip.
Yes, it is.
So, start.
Drink it like a beer?
So start out telling us who you are, what you do, excuse me, where you do it, why you're here, why you think why you're here makes sense. But also, Carl told me the story, and it's so cute, that you came to, and I didn't remember it, that you came to one of our $10,000 or $20,000 programs. We restructured your whole deal. You went back and got fired, or you quit, or something happened. What happened? Sounds funny to me. It probably wasn't to you and your wife. That's happened to me a lot of times early in my career.
That's typical. It was a little stressful. My name's Brett Rademacher. I live in Anchorage, Alaska. And my company's Netmark Pro. And I think we have 20 people here, right? 20? And, okay, tell you the story. Okay, there we go. I'm not used to a handheld. I'm used to a lapel. when I first heard about J. Abraham, within a space of about a week, I had a little newspaper clipping from my mother. I had a letter from Nightingale Conant, and I had an 8-page insert in Success magazine. And I was a top salesperson for a company I represented down in Texas. I had a distributorship, and I was the top sales rep nationally. But I just felt like I was missing something. I had no idea what it was. I knew I was good in sales, but there was something missing, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And as soon as I saw these clippings, I just had a gut feeling this was it. But there was a little catch. And the seminar was $5,000. And the catch for me was I'd never spent more than $100 for a seminar. And then the second catch was my mom, who'd sent me the clipping. I said, Mom, this clipping he sent, this guy, he wants $5,000 for the seminar. Now, bear in mind, my mom sent me this clipping, and she goes, oh, the guy's a scam. He's just going to rip you off. And everybody I told them, I said, man, this sounds really good. And they all said, oh, man, they're just going to rip you off. But Jay had this offer that was too irresistible. And it was, you know, put $1,000 down, check out my materials, and if you don't like it, you get your money back. So I said, that's doable. So I did that, and then I got one idea out of there that paid for the seminar. So it didn't cost me anything. So there's no way he could rip me off. And then I started applying that, and I went to a second seminar. But what happened is I got involved with a project that when I signed up with the project, I thought one way. But then when I got done with the Abraham seminar, I thought another way. They basically had two different guys to deal with. And the second guy didn't fit in. Which was a good thing. And actually, that situation kind of motivated me. But I'm one of those guys that when I started, I didn't come specifically with a business. You know, like there's some of you here that are just trying to find your way. But I knew that the information that I found here was my gold mine. And long story short, Jay's foundation has made me a millionaire. So, and I was a guy that came, and I'm a two-time, just for, that's for him. That applause is for him. I'm a two-time high school dropout, 5-time college dropout, but I couldn't sit still in class. I didn't like school. I'm definitely ADD, and everybody that works with me knows it. I mean, I have a severe case. Not as bad as him. He's talking to like 3 different people in the urinals in the bathroom. It's like, at least I keep it to 2. And so the reason why I'm here is what happened was, and here's another funny thing. I know Jay is a big fan of network marketing, but what happened was, I started applying the things to different businesses I was having good success, and my father was not doing well health-wise. I got a peanut gallery over here, so I ended up going to Alaska, and I got involved with a little consulting project using talk radio for lead generation for a network marketing company. And I really turned the thing around. It did real well. It had me start looking at network marketing, and then I started looking at the internet. And long story short, I'm now one of the top internet-based network marketers in the world. I've been the top distributor in 4 different companies. The current company I'm with, I'm making the millions, and I'm the number 2 distributor. And we've taken basically what I discovered is that network marketing is really direct marketing on steroids when you apply marketing systems with technology and you figure it all out. But there's a number of disciplines you have to figure out. You have to figure out internet marketing, affiliate marketing, network marketing, and direct marketing. And it takes a really ADD guy to do that. So I was able to do that. But the whole foundation started with the stuff that I learned at Jay's. So I'm eternally grateful. Matter of fact, I sent him a ladder. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I love
so
it.
I was like, I knew.
It's a great ladder.
Yeah.
It's because ladder that can do everything. It's like it goes every way.
I know it's a funny gift, but it's a cool
We
ladder.
love it.
Yeah. And So what we're doing now is we've spent the last couple years developing a multi-million-dollar software system that we use as the platform for our business building systems, internet-based network marketing. And we're just, in a very short period, we've started to become, even though we haven't really officially launched, and the whole purpose of this, to bring our team together and get everybody with the right mindset so that we can go out and be the dominant player in the network marketing industry globally. And we have a very, very multifaceted, strategically aligned business model. At least I do. They're trying to figure out what I do. So that's, okay, what do we sell?
Do you perceive the network marketing industry as an industry, or is it product by product, or company by company?
That's the thing. One of the things about the network marketing industry, it's very volatile. There's a high failure rate at the company level. So we've put a lot of things in place to allow us to tap in at different levels, whether it's training, lead programs, launching a network marketing company and having ownership in it, or whether it's being a distributorship. And through the last couple of years, I've developed a reputation where not only can we build sales organizations, we operate with integrity, we do what we say we're going to do, and we know what we're doing. And so, I mean, it's pretty exciting because what we have now, and I don't know if you guys had a chance to meet anybody here with Netmark Pro, but I mean, these guys are top-notch people. And the reason why we're having success is we've just attracted an incredible group of people. We got cutting-edge stuff. We're right where we want to be. And I firmly believe network marketing is going to be the business model of the future. I have a little tape called Forced Economics, but it talks about how the pressures in the economy force companies to be more and more competitive, and network marketing is a natural conclusion to where business is going, because what you're doing is you're not only giving people wholesale pricing, but you're financially incentivizing them to go out and perpetuate your sales and customer acquisition. So.
And what do you sell?
So,
What do I sell? Well, it depends on, okay.
Yeah, no, what are you selling right now?
Okay, right now, I just want to see if you guys want to get my deal. No.
You know, I think one of our strategies, I don't want to diagnose Mac, but we're really going to have to work on his enthusiasm.
Yeah.
It's okay, though. We can do it, Brett.
And he wants to work on his decisiveness.
Okay, well, one of the things I'm here to do is educate Jay to the power of network marketing so that we do a JV together and I show him how to take his stuff to the real world. No, but what we're here really for is we've designed a software system with the name Recruitomatic. And what we're wanting to do now is we take it out in the marketplace in different ways. One through training, one through lead generation systems, another through affiliate program. And we have a step-by-step process where we can take somebody from a very basic level to where we develop them to where their whole system or their company is using our systems and software.
Where do you try to get, what's your entry point into a company? Do you try to come in, I'm sorry, do you come in at the very highest level, or do you care where do you come in?
I like burning from the bottom up. The owners typically are pretty stupid, and I mean that with all sincerity.
My experience is he's right.
Yes.
And what's happened is there's been a real paradigm shift, just like in everybody's business, the internet. You know, the first seminar I came here, you know, Jay poo-pooed the internet, so I was like, oh, it must not be that. And then the next one, he was like, and then it changed. But what was really interesting, like these guys that were marketing guys, very strong direct marketers, when the internet first came out, they were a little cool to it. And then if you watch them, and then they got hotter and hotter. Well, network marketing, you have these top distributors who made their money at a very basic business building level, you know, the meetings that everybody likes to go to. And so they think that still works. And the field, the people, the lower level, the people who are striving for new ways, seeing there's something to do with technology, you know, they're grasping for this, but they don't have the mindset and the resources to put it all together. So when I first started this, I talked to these company owners, and these guys' eyes would just glaze over. And I go, man, this is a loser. And so then I just said, you know what, I'm just going to do it and figure it out myself. So I just started taking what I could where I was at, and then I started building it, and then I'd become the top distributor in the company, and then they go out of business. And then I become the top distributor in the company, and then they go out of business.
Why do they go out of business?
Well, it's just a high failure rate because a lot of these companies, it's a very difficult model to pull off, to have.
When they get too much critical mass.
It can be a lot of things. It can be you know, the bottom line, here's where the direct marketing comes into play. Say, for example, a lot of companies that come out and they think they have a great product. But if you don't have in network marketing, what's absolutely crucial is that you have a product that people want to keep buying regardless of the opportunity. They have to really want to keep buying
It has to really have some really perceived benefit.
Absolutely, but not just perceived on the front end, but delivered on the back end.
Well stated.
You can't just be reselling it every month. So a lot of times
The people, they have to buy it.
absolutely. And then when you go to the marketplace as a network marketing company, that product, it has to inherently be there. You can't create it with great copy and a sales pitch, because after they bought it, it's on its own.
Yeah.
It better do the
Great
job.
insight.
So
Great
these
insight.
companies come to the market, they bring a product, and if it's a Me Too product or doesn't really deliver, guess what? Then they got to go out and find another one and another one, another one. And if they don't do it, they go out of business. That is the key thing that you have for success in network marketing. You got to have it. So many of these companies don't really have a product that's inherently designed for the network marketing model, so there's a high failure rate.
So you're here for Recruitomatic
That's the name of our software system.
And you're trying to sell that to network marketing companies.
We license it now, and what we're doing now is we're in a build version that we're ready to get a lot more aggressive. See, part of our model is we have to have a lot of good people in place to do it effectively, from support to training to sales.
How big is your staff?
I don't know. What is it?
20?
38.
And they're all, are they
And
all?
everybody works out of their home. We got guys from Australia to Canada.
That's what,
So we're totally virtual. That's another thing. We've developed a pretty darn cool virtual business model. Yeah. We all work in our underwear. I tell you a story. One time I was talking with this top distributor, and he was on the phone, and I was kidding. He was talking to me. He goes, "Oh man, I'm sorry, calling late." I said, "No, big deal. I'm just sitting here in my underwear." And he goes, "Yeah, me too." And I was going, "Yeah." And I go, "Yeah, but I was just kidding."
Can we get to the core of this?
Pardon?
Can we get to the core of it?
Yeah,
Like,
we did.
what's
Yeah,
the
you're
core?
funny. You're good at it. So tell us what you're really trying to get out of this specifically, Brett.
Well, what the specific reason we came here is because I wanted everybody to have the Abraham mindset.
Are they getting it?
Oh yeah.
You guys enjoying it?
And yeah. And the other thing is they wanted to see you grill me. they all said, you know, Brett, we can ask you questions and you can dodge it, but if you're up there on the stage with Jay, man, you ain't getting away.
We got to know what we're supposed to ask you questions about.
He dodged the first question. What's he here for? I mean,
You know, he should have been a senator. He would have been great on filibusters.
boy, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Okay.
We try it again.
Okay.
Why are you here?
Okay. The number one reason is for our team to have the mindset, and the second thing is for you to punch holes in what I'm thinking. So if there's any areas.
Okay, stop.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
Okay.
That's a scary question.
It's really open-ended because I'm a free-form thinker.
Okay, let me stop.
Okay.
What's the main thing you're thinking at this moment?
One ADD guy talking
I'm
to
screwed.
I got to stop. This is funny. One time, this is a terrible aside. One time, I was helping a psychiatrist who was the leading guy on ADD try to conduct a focus group of ADD executives. And if you talk about an oxymoron, it was the most hilarious and diffused and purposeless event. We spent 4 hours trying to get started. And I swear to God, it's true. At the end, we said, let's never do this again. Go ahead, Brett.
Well, some of those deals towards the end of the interviews were getting kind of dry, so I just thought it'd be comic relief.
Okay,
But
so-
I'm done.
Well, I noticed you didn't fill out your questionnaire. Who fills out your tax forms?
Wait, he doesn't. Where's Bob Evans? We need Bob Evans back.
I'm serious. I mean, who does the administration in your, because you're not going to do it.
No,
we know that.
Is there an
No,
administrator? Wait, Mac, is there an administrator in the house?
Oh, yeah. We got lots
So you
of-
got backup. So what you're saying is you have the infrastructure.
Oh, yeah, I need it.
So let us stop. You have this. Are you currently successfully the leading person in a company, or have they gone out of business yet?
No, I'm the number 2 income earner,
And it's a solid product.
yeah, I make about close to $4 million right now a year.
Okay. And it's stable.
Oh, way.
Cool. Okay, but you could now. Can you do multiple products too, or are you limited?
This company only sells one product, and they're going
That's
through
not the
roof.
question. Can you
Yes,
do
I
multiple?
could. Yeah.
And can your
Is this a
system
secret?
manage it?
Do you mind
Oh,
mentioning
yeah.
what it is? You mind mentioning what it is?
What the product you sell is now?
That's
Or do
pretty
you
sad.
not want to
Or
mention
do you want not mention?
It's your call. I don't want to sound like
It's up
I'm
to you.
pitching people.
But that's up to you.
Okay.
I mean, is it?
What is
Come
Everyone else
on,
is taught. What
let's
is
go,
it?
What
babe.
is
It's
it?
sea silver.
Sea silver.
You were doing that in December. Hey, this is a long-term proposition.
Okay, so are we going to even want to talk about that business, or is that not even
No,
relevant?
we don't want to talk about it. He's here.
You just
Well,
build it
we
in the
want
software.
Sea silver is like a prototype system for taking our concepts
And just screwing around
showing
with-
that it works.
And screwing around with it, you're making $4 million with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's to prove that all those guys that gave me the glassy-eyed stare were wrong.
Okay.
Just like the guy that fired me after that seminar, Jay.
That's cool. I agree. So the question
You know what I'm
is,
talking about?
I get it only too
Okay.
well. I got fired about 19 times, but I
Cool.
work for people.
Let
Okay.
me recap.
Oh,
I'm not tracking.
this is going to be good.
Hey,
Go
this
for it,
guy,
Rick,
this
go
guy
for
is
it.
totally polar opposite with me personality-wise, so he's like really frustrated.
No.
I can hear his underwear sucking up and down.
Oh goodness. You know, when did I lose control of this? When you
Okay.
finally came up here?
Wait.
Okay, back at the ranch. Go ahead.
So you have a software
Yes.
process,
Yes.
system,
Yes.
company
Yes.
designed to fill in the blank.
Fill in.
Okay.
For who?
Okay, basically, the whole idea behind network marketing is have a process that is successfully duplicated, and the number one reason somebody doesn't get in your opportunity is because they're looking at the way you're presenting it, and they're saying, I don't want to do that. We put systems, the whole idea is, how fast can I take you from being a recruitee to a recruiter and get you duplicating the same process, and that's what we're
have
about.
a system you're
Well,
comfortable
what about
working.
selling through? Isn't that the fatal flaw of most MLM systems?
I'm sorry?
Selling through, isn't that the fatal flaw?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I created a concept called sell-through marketing that's hot as, oh,
But
it's hot.
stop.
Wait till you see.
Whoa. Brett, whoa.
Okay.
So the question we have is, you have this software. You want to license
I waited 8 years to be up here, dude.
Well, wait, the compound frustration shows. Okay, cool. So the question we have, you got this software.
Okay, yeah.
It's licensable to any network marketing company or to their, and they
Yes.
would relicense or sell it to their
Yes.
distributors.
We work on an application service provider.
Okay, and
model.
so do they pay you a fee? Do you split revenue? What's the model you currently have?
A subscription basis based on users. They would have a wholesale price resale to the end user.
Okay, and it's,
What's the pricing?
Okay, pricing well, there's two components. One is content. Content can be variable. On our model, our basic subscription model starts at a $19.97 per user wholesale price, and then goes down based
Per
on
what? Per what?
per
Month?
subscriber, per
per
person,
month, per year?
per month, per person.
And so you get the 19, you don't split that with the company.
Correct. They could charge more, and then if there's a volume.
And
type
somebody
situation.
using it, a distributor uses it, and it allows them to recruit and walk everyone through and set them up and do everything turnkey?
It's the kind of tools that you would need to build your business online as a network marketer.
That doesn't tell me anything.
Yes.
What does it allow me to actually do?
Okay, there's two things. The software, okay, there's three components to this. One is the software. The software is like your skeleton. It's the architecture, right?
Right.
Okay. The next one is the opportunity. That's like the heart and soul. Okay. If the opportunity is a dud deal, it doesn't matter how good my software is. And then the third is the brain. That's the mindset. That's the strategic application of the content, your
And
copy.
that's all customized
That
by the
part's
company.
customized. It can be customized by
Number
the company.
2 and number 3 are customized.
Number two is the company. Number 3 is where you can break down, because if they don't have the money to pay for the content and they do their own, they won't have the mindset to
They
have the proper
meaning
stuff.
the company
The
or they
company,
meaning the distributor?
both. It could be.
So you're giving them a multi-million-dollar one for almost no, do they pay a fixed fee to do it or just all variable?
Well, on the subscription, it's fixed. On the content, it can be variable based on what they would like
What's
us
the
to build.
typical pricing
Yeah,
on the
that's
content?
right. You give us
Well,
a model.
that's the thing. That's where we're at. We're ready to go start doing
Have you
that.
done content
If
before?
somebody was going to do it right, I would say $250,000 to $500,000
And
on
who would-
content.
They're
and who would
paying
pay
you or
that?
they're doing that
They
themselves?
would pay us.
Who,
Now, but see, the problem is, see, like most of these guys, they don't understand. It's like, this is what I say, why would you have a graphic guy and a programmer design your selling system? These
That's
guys
where
have
the
never
direct
sold in
marketing
their
comes
life. They've never got a commission check. So the key thing is, how do you develop a sales system with people that have never done it? So the key area is what I wanted to prove is put it together, show how it's done, and what's happening now is we're getting people.
You're using it yourself.
Absolutely.
And it is working for you.
Has your sales
Absolutely.
Has your sales approach up till now been be the top distributor and then sell them the system?
No, I don't like dealing with the companies because it's very political.
So you're just going
I
to
like
offer
keeping
it
it-
Well,
directly
who else
to
can
the
write the check?
Well, huh?
Who else can write the check?
No, I'm talking about for me personally.
So you have
when
somebody
I
else selling
built
it?
it, what I've done is I've come out as a distributor. I didn't want to get tied into politics and all the control, so I just come in very
Well, but I meant as a
covertly, build out
strategy.
my system.
But it's built out now.
Yeah.
Okay, so what Mac is asking is, who are you going to sell it to?
Okay, now there's two things. With the one that I've, no,
No, I get it.
it's
I get
fork
it.
in the road interview.
okay, the one that I did for Sea Silver, that's just for my group, not for sale.
But it's
okay?
the same software.
But the software we can license to
Can
companies
it
or
do
individuals.
contact? The
Right.
software does
If he's got a
contact management,
licensed
like
software.
Lead capture, follow-up, contact manager. Like, I'll give you an example of a little tool we just built in. You can pick up the phone, call in, record a message, push a button, and the audio blasts out to everybody as your prospects or your downline. You can pick up the
There's
phone.
nothing like it, or is there a lot
order
like it?
tracking, order management, fulfillment tracking.
There are pieces of it.
Nothing.
God, you're contagious. I'm going to have you and Neil talk together for about 10 hours.
The way we have it put together, the combination, there's absolutely nothing like it in this.
Okay, because we're going to run out of time. In one paragraph or less, the operative word is or less, tell us this. When you walk off the stage tomorrow or Thursday, when we really grill and drill you, what will we have accomplished? What will we have done?
What do you want us to have
And why?
accomplished?
But you got one paragraph to
Let's
do
ask
this in.
that one first. What do you want us to accomplish? Do you want us to have a model for how to sell the content model?
Or you just want to have a giggle and a good time?
Because you haven't done that
No,
yet, right?
I would say the number one thing would be to have a successful process. Our bottleneck is being able to mass produce systems with effective content.
Have
for
you
our
sold
clients.
any systems yet?
Yes,
Or have
but
you
the-
just built
Okay.
a effective distributorship?
No, we've sold systems.
Who bought it?
Who bought them?
Clients and distributors and companies.
What'd they pay you?
At the $19 a month level?
What we found is what we wanted to do was we were just licensing our software. We did a few small content systems, but we wanted licensing on our software so we could work out bugs. Now
So
we're
they
at
were
the point-
beta tests.
Yeah, basically.
Did they work and produce the result you wanted?
See that the bottleneck.
Yes or no? Just yes or no. We don't need,
Yes
we don't
and
need
no.
to know the bottleneck
Yes
today.
and- yes and no.
We're gonna have,
The bottleneck is the
the
mindset.
bottleneck is the answer right now.
The bottleneck is who creates the content and the mindset behind running it.
That's your bottleneck.
Bottleneck,
the bottom.
They
not-
don't have the
it's not
direct
selling.
What I'm saying
marketing
is you're-
model.
you're
If they don't
selling-
have the Abraham mindset and they don't know how to create the
Screwed.
content, they're screwed. If they don't have the understanding of how to build the downline, they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
But if they have that, they hum.
Well, then what you probably, well, I don't want to be diagnostic. Okay,
Okay.
we get sort of it.
Okay.
I get it. I get it.
But something tells me tomorrow it may change.
You're switching your business models, right? You're trying to crank up from having built a successful system to selling successful systems. Isn't that
Exactly.
No, I
right?
want to do both.
Well, but still, you
But
want
he's saying he wants to build other distribution systems for himself. He wants to deploy
want-
what he's already
by,
created.
by having, put it
It's a
this way, by
repurposing.
having the
Yeah.
software system.
I
and
get it.
Here's the number one thing. What rules in business? Sales, right? So if I have the ability to create the systems and we have the people trained on how to use them and we could build sales organizations, guess what happens? Number one, we'll take positions in network marketing companies.
But why wouldn't you just keep it proprietary
No,
and just be a distributor of theirs?
But see, we can leverage. See, the bottom line is in network marketing, even though we're doing good in this company, hey, they could go out of business
So
anytime.
the next
So
thing
you
that
want
happens is your
multiple-
people
you want
go into
multiple-
competition with you, but that's another one.
hedging
the
his
next thing
bets.
that happens is your best people go into competition with you because you don't have them on lifetime indenture. No, in other words, your top guys are going to be you, and they're going to go off and try to do the same thing.
Not a chance. My top guys. My top guys tell me, Brett, wherever you're going, I'm going.
Yeah, and they would tell you something
Well,
different, right?
That's a very appropriate place to stop.
That's good.
We're going
Thank
to
you.
have fun with you tomorrow. Thank you. You are funny. Oh, boy, you're funny. I'll see you.
We're gonna be doing that MLM Abraham combined deal.
Yeah,
All
sure. Okay, you're gonna persuade me. Energy. We needed that after cookies, didn't we? Okay. What do you think, Mac? Right. Mac is going to take a Ritalin. He's not even ADD. Okay, let's see. Who is next? Gary Dougherty. You here? Where are you?
Gary Doherty.
I knew that. I just wanted to see if you'd correct it.
Gary Doherty, come on down.
Funny. Funny, funny.
Thank you, Chad.
Drink some coffee. Can you guys get up here? Okay, let me move. I'll move to the right. You sit in that one, please. Here you go. Okay, here you are.
Here I am.
Okay, so quietly, reflectively, take a couple deep breaths and go,
Jay, all bald guys are not ADD.
All bald guys aren't millionaires either.
Oh, God.
I brought extra Prozac if you need any.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, who are you? Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do? How do you do it? Who do you do it for? Why are you here? And go ahead.
I agree with what Chet said. All right. My company is Cyber Collect. It's based in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Our tagline is cash flow at the speed of light. And what we do is collect bounced checks electronically, and we do it for free. And everybody always says, how do you do that? Well, what happens is that retail merchants are our customers, people that accept checks at the point of sale, and they sign a paper that directs their bank to send any bad checks to us rather than back to them. So every day in the mail we get hundreds of bad checks. We take those checks and scan them into our computer system. It generates a call screen. We have temps come in 3 days a week and actually call the banks of the check writers to find out if there's money in the account to cover, one, the face value of the check, and two, the NSF fee allowed by law in the particular state where that check was written.
It can be up to $25, can it?
It can be up to 40 in the state of Washington.
Most people don't know that.
No. Do I have a competitor out here?
No, I've looked. There's very few businesses I haven't looked at. I understand it. Go ahead.
Well, I just saw him looking at him and they're shaking their heads.
Well, they know.
I'm not going to sit up here and give away my business secrets. We're the best in the country at this point.
That's pretty cool.
So, anyway, we have callers that will call the banks to find out if the check and the fee will clear. So if you bounced a $20 check in the state of California, we would be looking for $45 in that account.
It's fabulous.
And the bank won't tell you how much is in the account, but they will tell you whether a check for $45 will clear, yes or no.
Yes.
So when we find that the money is in fact there, we that night transmit this whole batch of checks that we've discovered during the day through the automated clearinghouse, the Federal Reserve's overnight banking system. And the next morning, those funds are withdrawn from all those bank accounts and deposited into our account. We hold the money for 7 days, and then we transmit on a daily basis to our merchants the full face value of the check. We keep the fee. So in fact, we work for free.
Why do you hold the money for 7 days other than the float?
We hold it for 7 days because that's the outside range that what can happen is a transmission that we make can bounce. And we don't want to go back and take money out of the merchant's account after we put it in there. If we hold it 7 days, and it hasn't been revoked or bounced back from us,
Pretty safe.
then we're safe. And the reason it can bounce is that if we call that bank at 10 in the morning and they say, yes, $45 is there, that person could go to the ATM machine, take their money out. When we hit it the next morning, it's not there.
And how have you built the business so far?
Word of mouth.
Really?
Yeah, and we have...
What's your background? How'd you get into it?
Well, I was a computer programmer to start out with, and I had a software business that I sold. I started in 1980 and sold it in 93 to two of the employees. And then I owned a payroll service business, and I was at Newport Beach on a seminar on a totally unrelated subject, and I had lunch with a guy from a company in Texas who was starting to do this, and he tried to recruit me to be a sales rep, and I said, well, you know, I'm a programmer, I can write the database to manage the checks, and I have a payroll business and I transmit funds all the time, I think I can just do this myself, so.
So you figured out all the
I
nuances.
just figured out how to do it, yeah.
And so are your clients all over the country?
6,000 accounts in 48 states.
Just by
How'd
word of
you
mouth?
get them?
That's pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
How'd you get them?
Well, the interesting thing is, we have probably 300 independent sales agents, and they came to us by word of mouth. In other words, probably the biggest break I had was when I got my national sales manager, and I did that by beating him out of a sale. He was working for a competitive company that did traditional collections, and after I beat him out of a big account, he called me up a few days later and he said, who are you and what is this you're doing? And I explained it to him, and he said, I want to work for you.
And he's turned out to be great.
And he's turned out to be very good. He did a tremendous job of building our
So
base.
does an independent agent charge a fee, or they just get a piece of the collection?
They
or what
get,
is-
every time we collect a check,
they get X percent.
They get X% of that state fee.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so you've grown to 200-300 reps. You got a full-time sales manager. You got 6,000 accounts. Is there a target that you go after, or just any retailer that's got a bad check in any state
Well,
that's got the?
we'll accept any retail merchant that signs up. The best customers for us are grocery stores, convenience stores, and pizza delivery, because per capita they get the most bounce checks.
Wow.
Yeah, that would make sense to me. Okay,
Yeah.
so your marketing to date has been organized, referral, word of mouth, but it must be, some marketing must have gone on to build 200 or 300 independent reps. So does he do anything, or do you do anything?
Well,
Is he salaried, or is he a JV with you?
no, he's salaried now.
Okay, so he works with you at your offices?
His commission was so big from the sales that he made that we converted it to a salary, and he's still paying for himself. I mean, the guy did a great job.
That's fabulous.
What he'll do is recruit companies that have credit card sales reps, because credit card sales reps are already out there selling to our
Machines and
customer
everything. Yeah,
base.
That's perfect. So it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect strategic.
And they're not competitive, right?
No.
Because your
No.
checks are not
Yeah.
credit cards.
No, and matter of fact, they love us because it gives them another reason to get in the door.
Yeah.
I've got a free, you sign up with our credit card service, we have a free check collection service we're going to give you.
And statistically, I mean, it's got to change, but what's the incidence per 100 transactions of check? Is there some kind of a formula that you look at?
Well, about 1% to 2% of checks bounce. Is that what you're
Yeah.
getting at? Yeah.
So, I mean, how many checks are written at retail every day? It's got to be profound.
Millions and millions.
And people don't realize that there is a fee. I mean, people don't even think about that. That's interesting. So,
Now, compared to the regular collection service, they're usually dinging for 50%, right?
No,
Be lower out
for
of
a
that.
bad check, a regular
Well,
collection
not a bad check,
service-
a credit card, like a bad debt,
Oh, bad debt?
up to 50%.
Yeah, the merchant will have to give up to 50% of what they collect, yes.
So
No.
you look great. I mean,
Well,
Free?
for check collection.
and
Yeah.
left to their own devices, most retailers don't have a systematic way. They'll put it through once or twice, or they may not, or they may just basically post it up on the wall and discuss or whatever they
Yes.
do, right?
Or it's very stressful for them to contact a customer and try to get the customer to come and pay.
But let me ask you a political correction question. When you collect that from a customer that wants to still do business with that retailer, and he or she gets hit with a $25 or $40 fee, does that poison the well for future business, and repercussions happen to you, and they go, I don't want to use it anymore, I lost my client?
No, what we do is, probably the best thing we do is customer service. And if a merchant calls us and tells us that his brother-in-law or her best friend or a really good regular customer just bounced a check, and they want us to put the fee back into their account or not charge them a fee, we just
You
do
waive
that.
it.
Yeah, we just waive it.
And
Because it's a volume business, it's not.
sure, no, I get it.
What-
But
what's
we don't fight over each one.
what's your revenue gross and profit margin?
I started the company in '98, it's doubled every year, and it's just over $2 million right now.
And that's with no formal marketing other than the sales manager recruiting merchant card service salespeople.
Is that right, Kathy? I mean, what other marketing have we really done? I mean,
So you got more
Yeah.
formalized and systematized?
Kathy's here because, Kathy Monroe, Linda Moscafa, Kathy's here because she's going to be assuming the responsibility of Chief Marketing Officer, because we do have some growth plans.
And
that
you
we
went
wanna-
in December?
Yeah, she was
Good.
here in December,
And were
as
you?
was Linda.
Cool.
Linda actually works for a joint venture partner of ours here in Orange County. We have a separate product called Deposit Express, which is new, that allows companies that receive checks in the mail, large volumes of checks in the mail, to open their mail and scan the checks onto our website and push a button and put them in their bank account.
What's your issue?
Yeah, why are you here?
Why am I here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I want to build the company up to a size where it's not fun anymore and I can sell it to somebody.
What
And-
risks are there in the business?
Yeah, what risks are there,
risks?
Gary?
Yeah, well, let's see. The biggest risk, and the two states that I'm in trouble with right now, comes from my competitors who cannot compete with us and insist that what we do is illegal, although it is not, and it's authorized by the Federal Reserve. And they lobby in the state of Wisconsin and the state of North Dakota. Our competitors have lobbied the departments of financial institutions.
Your generic competitors, credit, collection
the
agencies?
collection agency was the ones whose butts were kicking around the country.
Yes.
And we actually got, I've probably spent $100,000 now in legal fees this year.
Have you prevailed?
I haven't lost, but I haven't prevailed yet either.
So you're still in process?
I had to sue the state of Wisconsin to stop them from issuing me a cease and desist order, and the state of North Dakota issued a cease and desist order. And in every instance, and we have Foley and Lardner, which is one of the largest law firms in the United States, in each instance, these DFIs would send us letters saying you can't do this because, and it would be some off-the-wall law that didn't apply, and then Foley and Lardner would respond and say this is not the case, and they'd come back and they'd give us another reason we couldn't do it. I mean, it's so blatantly political that it's unbelievable. And so
I guess you don't donate to the right people.
Yeah, well, I don't plan to do that. I don't bribe politicians, so.
So that's a genuine threat.
He's got
Well,
that's a serious problem.
We're gonna.
Are they
it really isn't.
are they major states or little ones?
Here's the deal. We're email,
I was in the
and everybody else is still snail mail.
Yes.
And so the snail mail people, rather than getting on board, are trying to stop us.
Sure.
But the law is on our side. I mean, we're governed by the Electronic Funds Transfer Act. The implementing regulation is Regulation E.
It's federal.
And the official interpretation of Regulation E is the Federal Reserve Commentary. And the Federal Reserve Commentary states very plainly that we can do what we do.
But that's federal and not state.
Yes.
But the state laws also do not address this.
But the regulators do, and they say you can't do it.
The regulators are telling us we can't, and then we challenge them and say, why? Show us the law that we're violating, and they don't come up with anything substantial, and that's why the lawyers think that we'll prevail.
So you think this has been propagated by your competitors?
Oh, I know it is. In the state of Wisconsin, the president of the Wisconsin American Collectors Association lives across the street from me. I devastated her business.
Ugh.
Because she was in check collection and
Have
and
you
didn't do it
tried just
electronically.
having a sit-down meeting with some of these people? And
We did with the state of North Dakota, and
To
we're
no avail.
getting somewhere. But
How many check collectors of the snail mail variety are there?
thousands.
Do they need your service? Could you pack? Well, that's the
We do for some of them.
So
We actually
private
do
label?
have some that rep for us.
You private label it?
No,
But it's-
no, they just rep
So
our
what's
service.
the big, so you have two issues, right? Which is one is how to expand your business model, no?
Right.
And
Is it
two,
regional business model of some level? I mean, is
Well,
there an
no,
issue
it's
of,
all over the country.
We're national. We're in 48
48
states.
and what's the limitation on your expansion?
There isn't any.
So,
I mean,
it does,
no more
to
states.
triple your business, what kind of personnel change do you need?
Well, okay, here's what I think I need out of this, from having been here in December, is I think that we need to develop a strategy of preeminence, because there are other competitors coming into the marketplace that are trying to, buy business
Yeah, no,
away.
That's why I've heard it 3 or 4 other companies doing it.
Okay, and so, we really do have the best customer service, we have the best website, the best.
So your systems, your process, your procedures are impeccable.
Everything's in place. What we need to do is have a really strong marketing and sales training program
how do the
to
salespeople
motivate
sell
the
now?
sales force. Huh?
How do they sell now?
What, yeah,
I'm one of your
what
independent reps.
collateral,
What do I
what
do?
training, what
We have-
systemization do they have?
When they sign up with us, first of all, we have a monthly webinar that our national sales manager does, where he will run them through the elementary, the basics of it, and it's not a very difficult sell. And then, secondly, if you're a sales rep signed up with us, you can get on our website and download all the forms and things that you need.
Do you have any intellectual property protection?
Well, the service,
Well, I don't know. I mean, if Priceline can copyright their methodology, it seemed to me, somewhere along the line, there's a.
Should be patentable.
Should be patentable.
But you're getting diagnostic.
Yeah, okay.
We're getting diagnostic.
No, but that's why I
Yeah,
asked.
cool.
So,
Yeah,
I
gotta
mean-
find out.
you gotta find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah, business process patent.
Because otherwise, well,
So what
Well,
do they,
there are
what
other
do they,
companies that do what we do. I mean, we have competitors.
once you get a client, do you keep them perpetually usually? You don't lose them often?
No, we seldom lose them. The only ones we'll lose are the ones that get a high percentage of closed account checks. And this is an educational problem on our part. They don't understand that nationally, anybody that can collect 20% of closed account checks is working a miracle.
Yes.
And we turn those over to law firms to collect,
Yes.
but they don't do better than 20%.
Sure.
And a competitor will come in and lie to them and say, oh, we can get 60%. You know,
Get that.
they
So-
can't.
But that's got to, is that?
It's an educational thing.
But that's not a frequent process, or is it?
No.
so your biggest problem is parity competition growing out of a successful business model?
Yeah, people imitating what we do,
Yeah.
is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And I
Would that
think
be
it's
your
hap-
biggest threat-
Yeah, I
biggest
think your
threat?
timing is right,
What-
because
And
it's
do you have
starting
any,
to happen.
do you have any ancillary derivative or any other back-end business?
To put right down the same channel?
No, we don't.
Okay, so that's a potential issue also.
Yes, and we have Deposit Express, which is this other service, but it really,
not necessarily-
it's really
it's not
targeted
the
at a
same market.
different, right, at a different, it's not a retail point-of-sale merchant, it's a utility company,
Yes.
phone company, a cable company, so it's really a different market.
So you need a really systematic strategy, you need a preeminent strategy, you need differentiation.
A competitive,
Yeah.
a competitive.
And we're not really in the position to, get legal advice, but whatever you can do to try to minimize just the real threat of all the AGs or whoever is going to come down on you.
Well, see, we're doing that, we're kind of preempting this. Nobody else has challenged the ACA, or there's another organization out there that says we can't do this also, that has no legal basis. And that's why we have Foley and Lardner working on this, because we should be able to demonstrate in state court that what we're doing is legal.
If it doesn't get settled advantageously, when does it go to court?
June 2nd, well, May 12th, we have a hearing in North Dakota, June 2nd in Wisconsin. But I have a backup. I mean, what'll happen is the only issue here is that they say you cannot collect the fee without a signature. And that's what the Federal Reserve dropped.
A signature
2 years
from
ago.
whom?
A signature from the check writer. When they write the check, you need to obtain a second signature that says, I authorize you to take a fee out if this check bounces.
So you just
But
have
the-
the retailers all do that?
But the Fed, no, the retails hate that, and so do the check writers. And the Fed dropped that requirement 2 years ago. And the states are still trying to make us adhere to it, but have no laws of their own that say we have to.
So there's nothing on the state books. They're adhering to a defunct federal law.
So you need
At the behest of our competitors.
You need an administrative bureaucratic strategy too, to lock in your advantage. You need an intellectual property strategy. You need
Okay.
a strategy to deal with with with
Right.
archaic regulation,
Right.
and maybe a political strategy, even though you don't want one.
Yeah, what we're really facing is we're operating in what's a gray area in state laws. It's never been addressed because it's an advanced technique. And so the people with the political power are lobbying those states to stop us, but there's no legal basis for doing it.
And contractually,
person
you're an
who act-
authorized agent of the retailer? Is that the way the contract's written?
Yes.
And who's the person who makes the decision to stop you in a state? What level
Wait,
of?
what's the title?
It'll be the Department of Financial Institutions or the Department of Commerce. It depends on who regulates it in what state. And in some states, we're required to have a collection agency license, and in other states, we aren't. I mean,
And you do or you don't have those?
Do you comply, do you comply in the state you have to?
What we do is, if a state sends us a letter and says, you're operating in our state and we think you need a license, I have a standard letter that I respond to them with that says why I think I don't, but that I won't fight them if they say I do. And if they come back and say do it, then I say give me the paperwork and we do it and we get licensed. I don't go out looking for license applications. I mean.
Interesting, interesting. I get it. Matt, you got any other questions? Interesting, very interesting. Okay, we get it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Where's CB Shotland? You here? Come on up. Where's Tony? Where's Tony? I thought Tony was coming too.
He was supposed to be here, but unfortunately he's 7, 8, and 10 p.m. working with clients that he's about 3, 4 months behind on.
I know he's a hard man to reach. When you talk to him next, tell him I'd like to talk to him.
Yes, sir.
Tell him I'm eager to chat with him about 3 issues. Okay. You're an interesting business, and you guys, and I'm very impressed with Tony.
What's the name of the business?
Digital Mavericks.
Digital Mavericks. Why don't you tell them who you are, what you do, who you do it for, where you do it, which is sort of fun, and why you're here.
Okay, well, my name is CB Shotland, and my 2 partners up here are Matt Conley and Tim Alfader, and we're 3 entrepreneurs that have done, we're the process and already had in place certain internet-based businesses, and through some recruiting on my own right for a business opportunity I was already involved with, I happened to come across this gentleman named Tony Saruga, and was able to, I guess, impress upon him that I was someone that he wanted to be in business with, and we began to do some projects together, and through a process, really, as I discovered who Tony was, really the recruiter became the student and realized that I was working with probably one of the more powerful guys on the internet.
Very bright.
And Digital Mavericks, in essence, is an umbrella company that has approximately 4,000 different domains. They control millions of unique clicks per day on the internet. And really the basis of Digital Mavericks is multiple streams of income. We are constantly developing, creating, improving upon mostly internet-based businesses, bringing them to market, and most times in that process we'll have a group of individuals that will have gone through the process and they will kind of take over the business once we get it profitable.
So they'll uncover niches.
Give us a practical example.
Well, yeah, they'll uncover niches galore that they will see if there's enough of a market for to sell things, and when they put a validation together, then they'll create products and services for that, won't you?
Yeah, and not only that, but I think a big chunk of it will be joint ventures, where we will come across a product out there, and the person has a great idea, a great product, a great information piece, and we will joint venture with them, and basically with our marketing powerhouse, that who controls the traffic, wins the game on the internet, and
they control a lot of traffic.
Absolutely, and we will get these guys to a new level with their product.
Can you give us an example? Somebody did it for. And
1 Minute Millionaire, for instance, the book, Mark Victor Hansen and Robert Allen. Digital Mavericks was behind a lot of the process of getting 1 Minute Millionaire ranked #1 on Amazon.com. That would be one example. Just driving.
How did you do that?
He basically became an affiliate for them and drove them to the top of Amazon.
They just use, they have relationships with thousands and thousands and thousands of website owners and millions and millions of emails.
And a lot, the interesting thing about Digital Mavericks and Tony is, a lot of the stuff I can't even tell you about because I don't know, okay? What I mean by that is Tony's been behind the curtain for years and years, and he has brought the 3 of us in a lot of respects because he is looking to come out from behind the curtain a little bit and in doing so, he's looking to get some marketing, sales type of oriented guys like us to assist and help him in.
You're supposed to go and find the clients, or what do you guys?
We definitely wear a lot of hats. We are
Have you been there long enough to actually bring in any new clients?
Not necessarily bring in new clients, bring products to market and work with existing clients that have new
For
products.
example,
Absolutely.
Mac, Tony controls, what's the list that we've been trying to do the Mr. X deal with? He's got the big, it's in the In-Flight magazine, what is it? Which one? No, the catalog that's in the In-Flight magazine.
Sky Mall?
Yeah, he controls the Sky Mall
Yeah.
list.
Right.
It's got a lot of really, yeah, it's got a lot of interesting lists.
I'm just curious if these guys have
Yeah.
been there long enough to actually develop business yet.
We came in with through a specific business. Initially, we were in a network marketing business, and from that, we've developed some tools for network marketing, and also we have developed some internet-based businesses outside of that realm, and also we have a mentoring program.
So
So
right
you three
now,
guys were a package?
I started off with them, and these two kind of, we actually, the way these guys really, the way Tim and Matt kind of came into the, let's say, the inner circle with Tony is about a year ago we started a mentoring program, and I recruited basically the mentoring program with help from this guy who was already kind of a partner of mine, but not necessarily to Tony yet. And as we created this mentor program, part of the mentoring program was kind of being part of Tony bringing these various businesses to market. And we went through the process with him, and slowly but surely, the three of us became very much part of his inner circle. And really, one of the reasons, one of the primary reasons for us to be here is Tony, in essence, I think, is reinventing a little bit his entire business by coming out behind the curtain and all of a sudden looking to brand Digital Mavericks for what he really is, quite frankly. He has had all these different businesses, all this control on the internet that most people would never know. It's kind of one person or one
sort
company.
of like David Geller, but he's very discreet and Howard Hughes-ish.
So what are you guys here to do?
Well, a couple things. First of all, we're here to get a better focus for ourselves working with Tony on how to do business. One of the challenges, we don't have an issue with, we have all the business in the world, we have all the marketing power in the world, but we need focus. Tony, by the way, is bald and serious ADD.
Yep, he is.
Got a big trend. And he's very, very, very successful.
But he's a really interesting guy.
One of the things, there's a couple of things. One of the things is for us is, we are now, let's say we're Tony's proteges, we're now vice presidents of Digital Mavericks, the three of us. And
How do you guys get income this very moment?
Through our independent ventures.
Okay, so
with Tony and without Tony.
So you got it, and you mean, for us to help you, because God bless you, you gave us a questionnaire that about every other word was I can't tell you. So, if you can't tell us, we're not going to be able to tell you back, and it's going to be a weird interview. So you got to give us something foundational to sink our reference and calibration teeth in. So give us a couple of examples of what you guys do for revenue.
Well, what do they want to do?
Or what you want to do, and who you want to do it with.
Well, we're definitely not so much of a strategic makeover, but a strategic rollout, because we are in the process of rolling out kind of two crucial new businesses that the three of us
They are, give us what are
partners
you
in charge of.
You can discuss them?
Yes,
What are
absolutely, absolutely. The first one is I mentioned that we had this mentoring group.
Who's it for? How's it work? What's it cost?
The mentoring, the new rollout of this new mentoring club will be for anyone that is that has a business or has a business idea, and they want to have an internet presence. They want to learn how to market their business or their business idea or their product on the internet effectively.
Is it group? Is it telephonic? Is it web-based? All the above?
It's going to have a website with resources that we continue to put on there. It's going to be kind of a course. Like here's your original study material, and then we're going to build from there. There's going to be a weekly call with Tony, is the
Group,
main
group.
mentor.
Sort of like
Group-
the ones
a
that you're on
teleconference.
sometimes with us.
Yes,
Cool.
exactly, a teleconference, exactly. And then the three of us, as the assistant mentors, will be doing additional
One-on-ones?
one-on-ones and maybe even additional Q&A kind of teleconference calls.
And what's it going to be priced at?
It's going to be a $3,500 buy-in.
For what period of time and what frequency?
It's going to be $3,500 for 1 year, 1 year contract at $699 a month after that.
Okay, but for the year, you get so many, is it like weekly, monthly calls? How many?
You're going to get 1 call from Tony per week. You're going to get at least 2 more calls.
Sort of like a Model and Bob Allen's deal?
Yeah.
Okay, except it's going to be more general for any entrepreneur, business owner, or aspiring opportunity seeker who wants to really exploit it online?
Yeah, I think that is, if you look at it as a whole program, 12 months, the initial primary focus will be on internet marketing and learning the secrets, and kind of our unique selling proposition for this group would be that our mentor is kind of the secret weapon on the internet
But
for
he's
many
got
people.
he's got to let his accolades be much more
Where's
public.
the decimal point in that second in the residual sale? Is it $699 a month?
$699 a month.
And it's a $3,500 entry
Buy-in,
point.
yes.
And does that mean theoretically in subsequent months it gets more advanced, or they're just getting, how are you going to keep progressing it? Do you have year 2, 3, 4, 5 fixed?
Well, I think that after 1 year, they will have the ability to continue to stay in, and as you know, the internet is constantly changing, and what you're going to learn in the first month.
How do you
there may be-
delineate between
But it goes
mentoring-
from price point from $3,500 to $8,400. So let's, so we're just bring that to your attention.
Sorry?
It's $3,500 the first year, and that you don't have to pay another
There's only one
$700
buy-in. No, there's only one. It's a one-time buy-in
for a whole year.
for the-
You're not going to pay another $700 a month on top of the $3,500.
Yes, you are.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
Who
you
trying to-
are? So
who
you
trying
got to
to sell
start
us
from
to?
the beginning. You paid $3,000 one time, or whatever it is. Then it's
$3,500 buy-in, and then every month it's
it is.
$699.
Oh, really? And you've already
$11,000
perfected that
investment.
works?
Yes,
That's interesting. And it's sold online too?
yes.
That's interesting.
And what happens? We're going to have a separate web page that will give a very long dissertation on what you're going to get from the program. You're going to get about $25,000 worth of material. That if you were to try to get it outside of this group, it would cost you about $25,000, just the material itself. Okay, and you're going to get the mentoring from Tony, and basically, the guarantee will be that you will be able to take your business from level A and move it up to level
So
B.
you're selling this
through-
to business owners.
to either business owners
to
serious
teach them how to market better on the
Yes.
web. Because
Exactly.
that's not a big
Tony's
deal.
Tony's a member of our Abraham Mastermind Alliance, and he's really bright. He gave us like a 90-minute soliloquy once on what he did, and it was mind-blowingly clear. I mean, the guy's really bright, really bright. But you've already tested this, and it works, and it's profitable, and your model already works. So
Yes,
you
with
did.
it, we've already done,
When did it roll out?
the original one rolled out in August.
So
of
how
last
many,
year.
roughly how many people are being mentored now?
Roughly 50.
Okay. And they're loving it?
Yes, generally. I mean,
Okay. Yeah,
you know
sure.
how it is. There's always, the people that are applying the materials, and one of the challenges with the first group, where they were not with the first group was basically people that were already kind of working with me in this one opportunity. They were not necessarily the proactive. Every one of them was not necessarily the type of person. If I know now what I knew then, I wouldn't have
Why'd
brought
you
in some
settle,
of
just
them.
curiously, why'd you settle on $3,695 a month?
That was Tony's price points.
Did he test
Tony
them?
came up
You
with it.
tested a
He's
bunch of them?
tested them.
And that one actually outshone the rest?
Yes.
Okay, and Tony tested everything. He's very, he really gets direct marketing.
We
Really gets
we
direct
feel
marketing.
with that, and with the way we're going to market this, and the
Okay,
way
so
we're
you
going
got
to
a
go about,
model right now.
we'll be training people down. We're going to have
Well, that's one concept. or
we're
one
going to have
product.
that's
What are the other two?
that's the main thing. That's the main thing for us personally. We are also rolling out a
Should give the URL, because this is going to go to thousands of people going to buy this home study. You might as well give your URL.
iwantfacts.com, www.iwantfacts.com.
Facts, F-A-C-T?
facts.com.
So,
Yep. It's
so
not up yet. It'll be up in the next week or two.
That's the main.
Everybody wrote that down, so it was a good idea.
So that's the main collaborative product that the three of you are in now.
I would
However-
actually say that that is secondary to another thing that we're involved in. And the other one that we are involved in is it was interesting to hear Netmark Pro talk a little bit. We're going to be bringing to market a complete tool set, not necessarily for network marketing, but it is certainly a, let's call it a toolbox that an entrepreneur, whether it's a network marketer or an internet marketer, can use to build a business with. And we feel that it'll be we have many modules, many programs and systems already out there that we've been testing for years. The price point will be $39.95, but there will be upsells. There will be ability to even get more. There's going to be mentoring and training that will also be kind of cross-sells.
$39.95 meaning $3,995 a year? Or
$39.95 a month for this tool.
So it's an ASP?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what's the main application of it? You'd use it for what specific purpose? It's
Right.
And I don't mean this critical. I feel like we're dentists sometimes. I
Right.
feel like we're oral surgeons.
But
You ever
they want
figure
up in the
that way?
mouth, right? They want up in the
Yeah.
mouth.
Right.
I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I think sometimes like an oral surgeon trying desperately to get the tooth out without just damaging the jaw.
Yeah, and this is, some of the answers that I couldn't answer. I guess there might be a couple here, but I'll tell
And I
you.
don't want you to breach your. I'm just saying, the more you help us, no pun intended, sink our teeth into what the real issue is, the more we can give you great help.
What's your biggest challenge?
Yeah, that really, this new program we're bringing out is not necessarily why we're here specifically. Why we're here specifically is to work on finding, recruiting, hiring, and training talented people to work with us on our hundreds of different potential projects. At any point in time, Digital Mavericks is looking at bringing to market, implementing 500 to 800 different medium to large size projects.
And the biggest bottleneck is quality people to
Quality
project
people.
manage?
You got it.
Okay.
You got it. That's number one. This one might sound a little funny, but to the three of us, another big element that is a huge challenge in our business is effectively managing Tony.
Yeah, no. I mean, he and I were supposed to do a huge deal, and I haven't been able to get back to him since we agreed to start like 3 months ago.
I know, and he's told me, he actually told me to apologize to you.
Yeah, no, it's like we want to get to Mr. X going, and I want to do a big, and I know he can do it, and I suspect he can literally do tens of millions of dollars.
Absolutely.
But it's very perplexing because he doesn't acknowledge.
It's perplexing us sometimes too.
No, I get it. But I do that to my.
Well,
my partners too.
as you know, Jay, I host your AMA calls most of the time, and I've been trying. Usually, you jump on, and I don't find the moment to kind of jump in there. But Tony has told me often, tell Jay I'm sorry. Tell Jay I'm going to get to him. And
but he's a very bright man. But I think that's true. When I try to figure out what he does and he explains it to me, I get a headache.
Yeah. And you know what? I've been with him now for a year and a half, and I still get a headache.
But he's really brilliant, and he knows.
Yeah.
I mean, he's figured out some niches. He gets the integration of direct marketing, testing, niche, strategic alliances in one of the most interesting ways I've ever seen. I don't want to breach confidences either, but okay. So
Is your guys' job just to keep up with him, or is it actually to take to draw a box around a particular venture?
I think
and
he's
make it
tired of
happen?
doing it
Or
alone, and he wants to basically.
Have you even pushed him to the point where he's defined what he wants?
Right. I think that part of the vision with Tony, with us, with me especially, is to duplicate a little bit, but himself to me.
But see, also, truthfully, not that the success rate would be that high, but his training program can also be a breeding ground for products and filling the system. He's got the key that you want. He owns the distribution.
Yeah.
He also knows how to market. He knows how to test, validate, and invalidate. If it's valid, build it out very quickly. And he's got all these virtual. He's got everything, doesn't he? He's got telemarketing. He's a very interesting guy.
He's got 4 giant NOCs around the United States.
Is the pipeline full? In other words,
Yeah, fulfillment centers.
Is that one of the problems? Is the pipeline full right now?
Again, from our perspective, okay, and there is a bit of mystery even to us working with Tony because there's so many different avenues in his
and he's
business.
cryptic. But it's like
He
one
is
of his
cryptic,
big problems, this is going to sound funny, is too much success, and you'll run like $5 million through of internet orders, in 3 months through your credit cards, and they close you off and freeze the funds, which then you can't pay your partners. So there's a lot of being really good is as problematic as being really bad.
It's a nine-figure enterprise.
He generates so much finance so fast.
He's so good at it when he rolls
credit
out.
cards will shut them down.
He's got to have like
Yeah,
7
I know,
merchant
that's
accounts.
true. They don't know where it's coming from. They don't understand it, and
And
because
he's got to
it makes them-
figure out how to make it work with 50% of the money he brings in because the rest is frozen.
because it makes them nervous, and they just shut
It's
it
a
up.
screwy, but he's a brilliant guy. Okay, we get it.
Great.
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I think, just I think for the three of us being here with Tony, I'm thinking that one of the big issues for us is, as I said, for us to have a better focus, a better vision, a better strategy on how to take this unbelievable giant resource and help this guy that has 4 computer screens in front of him and 3 computer screens behind him and is on the 2 different phone calls and chatting with 6 different people at once every single day, to help
He's a really
him
interesting guy.
focus and take better advantage, because I think as big and as successful as Digital Mavericks is, I think we can be a much more successful company. And also, we are, again, we're looking at strategic rollout of Digital Mavericks to brand Digital Mavericks as the ultimate solution center for all of your internet marketing needs. And that's part of our consulting, that's part of the mentoring, and it's also part of the rollout of some of these different products we're working on.
Got it. We get it. Thank you, guys. Okay. Okay.
A lot of interesting stuff here, huh?
Yeah.
You see
Wow.
any implications in that one?
Okay. Jim O'Donnell, you here? Okay. Oh, who is it really? That's what I knew. I just wanted to see if you knew it. I know. Lou? So, Rick, come here for 1 second as you're setting yourself up. Just 1 second. See if I've checked off everybody and if I'm right. Am I right that we did that? So, gentlemen,
Oh, Jay.
is this fun or what?
This is I was standing over there and I've been listening to everybody. I'm thinking, I thought my business was cool. This stuff.
People will meet me and they'll say, "Well, what you do must be interesting." I say, "Not as interesting as what everybody else
Are you kidding?
does."
It's unbelievable. The check guy, that's awesome. That's just awesome.
There's a lot
And
of
the
fascinating
ducks and
business.
and I have to tell the NLP folks, if you see me doing this a lot with my eyes, I'm not lying. My contacts are really dry. So anyway, we're talking about that
Funny,
at
I get
lunch.
it. Okay, so who are you? What do you do? Where do you do it? Who do you do it for? What's your reason for being here, and why do you have it?
We're not doing dinner next. I don't want to be the barricade between everyone and food. My name is Lou Altman. I'm the president and founder of Globophone. We're 5 years old. We help frustrated international travelers who don't have cell phones to work where they're going outside of the U.S. I need to explain Jim O'Donnell and the Lou Altman relationship. Jim O'Donnell is a consultant. I've known Jim 5 years. Jim helped me get my first bank loan, and actually that banker still talks to me. So it's that's kind of good. Yeah, it's because of Jim.
Of course, he's
owe
unemployed,
everything.
but he's unemployed, but
No, actually, that's a whole other issue. We provide people with cell phones that work in destinations where they're going.
For example.
For example, you're going to Japan for a week, we'll get you a phone that works in Japan for a week.
Okay.
You're going to the UK, France, Germany, and Spain, we'll get you a phone that works there. We get some of the folks in Iraq and the affiliated areas, we provided them with cellular and satellite equipment so that when you need to communicate, you call us, we give you what you need.
Who's your market?
We have 2 markets, actually. One market is what I would call a company contact. The second one is a user. A company contact is a telecom manager, facilities manager, event planner, travel agency who works in a large company, not a Fortune 500, because we can't,
Or works
we can't
with lots
stand
of
them.
companies.
Or works with lots of them.
Okay.
They know what they need. They understand what they need, and they
Find
call us to provide it.
Okay.
The other would be just
And
a-
would they provide it primarily for their own use, or would they also, as a service or a joint venture, provide it for a lot of their other, like attendees or participants, either or?
Yes.
Okay.
They're, ideally, we like to work with telecom managers because they understand it, and they end up being the decision maker for the whole firm. The other users we have are global road warriors who they just travel
How do they
a lot.
find you or you find them?
They find us by accident. We find them by deliberate, semi-deliberate marketing, and frankly, we didn't really do any marketing until December
When
10th.
you came to
Yeah,
the program?
we came
okay.
to the,
I remember you there. And
okay.
You seemed like you were enjoying yourself. You got some.
What is your
some
distribution network like?
our
How do you-
distribution network, we don't really have one.
Where are you
How do you,
based?
how do people get the phones? Just run the phone?
Yeah.
I mean,
We're based in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. We send the phones Federal Express, DHL.
So that's
We,
it.
we send it to you before you leave. You send it back to us after you get back.
but it's totally virtual like that. I mean, just, you don't
Yes.
have any,
And,
We
and you get to bill them like, what do you get per minute,
Depends.
for example?
In Europe, $2.50 a minute to call back here. In Russia, $12, which is a bargain. Yeah,
So
depends.
the margins can, now, when you get $12, are you buying it at a good enough spread that it's really worth your while?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
And-
our markup is significant. I don't know if anyone else rents phones here, but you can't hear any of this. It's a very high margin business on the rental side. And, you know, Brian Tracy was talking about brutal questions.
Yes.
Jim calls them kicking the groin questions.
I
He's
like
been
that.
asking me them for years, and I've still screwed it up. We could be far further along than we are, except I'm an entrepreneur, and I just don't understand when and where to let go.
How far along are you?
Million in sales. First year, 5 years ago, we did 40,000 in sales. Last year, we did 957. This year, we're predicting, what, 1.4.
And how profitable is that?
It's just getting profitable now. It could have been a lot more it should be very, very profitable, but
What kind of
I've made
support
stupid
staff?
mistakes.
like what? I mean, are they structural?
what?
Are they structural in pricing?
I know no one has this problem of hiring the wrong people, and they just sort of drain your cash. Making pricing errors, giving away discounts and bargains when I didn't need to, not checking billing from a vendor who was shorting us by about 15% a month.
How big's the market?
Yeah,
The
and
market, it's interesting. I'm not sure, but I know.
Everybody says that when you say, how big's the market? They all say, it's interesting. How interesting is
It
it?
actually is interesting because we're competing with, it's a very, very fragmented market. There are about 20 companies our size. There are 4 or 5 companies that are 10 times our size, one of whom has now tried to buy us twice.
who's the biggest that's independent, that isn't a major?
I would say it's a company called Sell Hire.
How do they market and who do they sell to?
They have strategic alliances, and the majority of their business is renting phones from major network operators rather than their own.
That's
So
interesting.
AT&T, T-Mobile, Nextel, you can rent a phone from them, but Sell Hire is the one who actually
So they just, they
sends it
wholesale.
to- Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, you described a market that's about $70 million.
It's probably about 150 if you look at everybody who's involved in it.
Which is, all right, so your $1 million or your $1.5 million, how many users is that?
Yes. Individuals.
Individuals?
Our company, give it to us
Yeah, how
either
many
way.
times do people rent from you? How does it,
Well,
how
yeah,
do
give us,
you
give us
measure
any
it?
correlation
How do
that
you
would be
measure
useful.
it?
How many rental days? How many?
How many units are out? How many
we
billable?
measure by the number of phones. Yeah, we have 25 corporate clients and 500 individuals.
How
Some
did
of
you get
whom
the
work for
corporate
companies,
clients?
some of who don't. Huh?
How did you get the corporate client?
I wrote a script, gave it to someone who didn't know anything about cell phones, and said, "Here's a Fortune 500. Call them."
And how, is he still work for you?
No, that was 3 years ago.
How many
and in-
calls did he make?
501, I think.
And he got 25?
10, 15, the rest I've done.
But
The-
you don't do
the-
it consistently yet.
No,
And that was
in
3
fact,
years ago.
yeah,
Okay, I heard
the
that.
interesting thing
Because
is
you
we did,
retained- because you retained
after, in January, we started evaluating our clients' ABC. We found the life cycle of a client. An A client's worth about $30,000 a year, a B client's about half that, a C client is about 1/10 of that. But the B clients are the most profitable ones because they have the repeat purchase behavior, but they don't get any kind of discount at all. The A clients have all the phones on site. We lease them with special deals, great deals, because they're more price sensitive because of everyone else is calling them as well. But the B clients, we don't know why they buy from us.
So how do you get clients now?
How we get clients now, since December, we have done segmented mail campaigns, fax campaigns, email campaigns.
With success?
Yes.
Okay.
Our business is up, well, we haven't finished the numbers for
Approximately.
about 30%.
In 3 months?
Yes.
4 months? That's good.
Yes.
That's great.
In a market where people claim that the market's shrinking and their business is declining, that sort of gets
Sure,
into.
because people theoretically aren't
That sort of
traveling.
gets into why we're here.
Okay,
The reasons we're here, I have 7 of them.
okay. Only 7?
Oh, well, that's all. We need to be the David in our marketplace. We're competing with companies 10 times our size.
Okay.
I need to stop making stupid tactical mistakes. Now, Jim's going to help me out with that. I've turned over control of my company to Jim. Jim's going to work full-time. The goal is to reaffirm our ideas and develop a concrete strategy for where we're going, what we want to do, build revenues and profits as fast as we can.
Can I stop you for a minute?
Yes, sure.
What's the outcome that you want?
Yeah.
Number, what am I at? 5, develop an exit strategy. My goal is to build this business as big as it can get and sell it within 2 years, and I have a financial incentive. Here's what I want.
Do you have an offer on the table?
No,
You said somebody's offered to buy you twice.
twice.
But did they make an offer, or they just said it was just
pulled it
Now,
out.
they made two
it was
offers.
insulting.
Wait, so what you just said is you want to build it as big as you can over 2 years and sell it.
Yes,
Okay.
Why 2 years?
seemed like a good time frame.
But I mean, don't you, I mean, I know, because we've talked, you have an underlying.
It's a limited
you
life
have
cycle
an
to the
underlying
market.
concern.
The market's going to
Is
go
your
away in 2 to
biological
3 years.
clock
You have
They
a-
think that's- they
no,
think
yeah,
that's-
there is a
that- that's
clock, there is a clock ticking, right?
Yes.
They think that that's the biological clock is you got to get rid of it by then.
At what point do you think other people won't realize there's a clock ticking?
Well, that's a good question because there are some companies who don't. One of our providers wants to get into the business. Now he's the perfect person to sell it to because
Well,
we
so
know
why
him.
do you think that clock's ticking if nobody else realizes?
Because it's not that nobody else does. Some people
Yeah.
don't, or
Now,
don't want to believe
How's
it.
your capital base?
Tell them what the clock is.
It's terrible.
Tell them what the clock is.
The clock is that eventually there's going to be one cell phone that works all over the world.
It's GSM's the answer.
Well, people call it 3G, but I don't think that, it's my view that 3G will never come to full
3G 's
commercial
dead.
viability. It will never happen. But WCDMA in some form will, which some people call 3G and some don't. But there will
What you're
eventually
saying is
be.
it's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time. Is it 2 years? If it was 2 years, I should sell it now and run.
Yes.
I think it's longer than 2 years. I think it's 5 to 7 years.
What's going to be, but one of the issues in selling it, well, I don't know, but is perception of time frame.
I don't understand.
Well, we'll get to it
Well,
later.
today doesn't matter. Okay, I get it. Mac, you get it? We get it. Okay.
Good.
Thanks. All right. Excuse me. Let's see. David Singh. Mac, start. I'll be right back. I'll be back in 1 minute, David. Mac, start. Good. Sit.
I did.
You know the drill.
Well, I think after listening to Brett, I think I've got my strategy, so I'm ready to go home.
Well, I will say, you have the most completely filled out questionnaire. Ironically, you're the only one who doesn't have a real business yet. I mean, and
He has time to think about it.
So at least I'm well prepared. My name is David Singh. I built financial services business in Canada. 2 of them actually, a family of mutual funds and a large brokerage operation, both of which I started from scratch. And I sold both of those businesses in 1999.
were they specialized funds or general?
Just general mutual funds. And the brokerage operation built up to 750 advisors, starting with just me, almost $10 billion under management. And sold both of those companies for $88 million in 99.
Very good.
And thank you. And I've been trying to figure out what to do with the rest of my life. I'm also a writer. I write books. So I've written 4 books, well, 3 published and 1 published next week. And I'm trying to get into, I've decided I want to get into the wellness industry.
Because?
And in large part because I've always been a health freak. And I see a lot of similarities between the financial services business that I was in and the wellness industry.
Really?
And the book that I've actually written, the title is called Health, Wealth, and Happiness. It's interesting listening to the guy in the landscaping business. I think this morning Chet was talking about the guy in the landscaping business talks about healthy, wealthy, and being happy with your good lawn, et cetera, et cetera. So I find it interesting. Anyway, the title of my book is Health, Wealth, and Happiness. And the reason, because I've always had a passion for both of those areas in life, health and wealth. And I see a lot of similarities between those two things. So what I would like to do is to build in the wellness industry. I don't see it as a health industry, because to me health is a reactive business. It's what the author of the wellness revolution called the sickness industry. I prefer to think of it as being in the wellness industry, where I'm in the preventative side of things. And I see a lot of similarities because the same thought process or planning that goes into financial well-being or achieving financial success, I think goes into achieving success with your health, if you like. Here's my challenge. The challenge I'm faced with is, and Brett, don't take this personal because it's not meant to be, but I've always despised people in the network marketing business.
That's fourth grade.
I've always felt that what I call the private Americans of the world are the scum of the earth when it comes to financial services. And I'm being as blunt as I can be, because herein lies my challenge.
And yet your business plan is
and yet still the main, or the number one means of distribution that I have determined for the business I want to get into uses network marketing. So, so I've got this value clash, if you like. This question you asked me this morning, I didn't answer your question because I knew we were going to talk about it at some point today. I've got this value clash that says, here's what I want to do. This is the type of contribution I want to make to society around the world. This kind of business I want to get into. We've got some fabulous products that we have created that I'm convinced will make a difference in people's lives. And I'm wrestling with, how the hell do I go about marketing this stuff? And that's why I'm here.
How much have you looked into this? I mean, you obviously have a complete array of products described.
Correct.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, I can just pick off a couple. Which do you perceive as being your lead product?
All of those products. The one that the herbal dietary supplement, the drink, I think is going to be our lead product, Octa. But the 10
weight control product, menopausal product, a osteoporosis product.
The HGH.
Yeah.
And
then a skin tone weight control, another version of weight control and energy, another weight control supplement pattern. Another
and which one is going to be the leading product? I don't know which one is going to be the leading product, and that's not so important.
Sexual enhancement.
For women.
Breast enlargement. Women's sexual enhancement.
Here's a couple of things that I'm attempting to do. One of the things that I've been very passionate about that really made my business very successful in the financial services field, to go from nowhere to becoming the largest in Canada within 6 years, was a deep commitment that I have to this thing called knowledge and this thing called education, something that Chet talked about this morning as well. And not only the books that I've written about this stuff, but I've spent a tremendous amount of time teaching my advisors and the public about how important it is to be knowledgeable about issues concerning your money. And so I bring that same passion to this wellness industry. So here's one thing I've done.
Is this new? I'm sorry, I missed the beginning of this. How old is the company?
It's a launch. It's a startup.
You starting up with all this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some investment then before you got started here, huh? Or you
Well,
grabbing
you heard
products?
his background, right? He built in 6 years, he built the biggest mutual fund brokerage and sold his business for $88 million in '99.
Ah.
Okay.
You see, I ran into
You missed that part,
I ran into Chet in the washroom. So he was in the back there, so he didn't hear what I said. So I want to make sure I get him back before he did.
And one issue
so
is...
here's what I did.
Are you talking about Canadian market, U.S. market? Are you...
Well, I'll come to it in one moment. I don't want to play... I want to play on a global scale because it's like I've been there, done that, played in the Canadian marketplace, came from, you know, a third world country and built up this great organization. I want to play on a big playing field. And so this business gives me an opportunity to do that, where I can go and play around the world. But one of the things that I learned in the financial services business was, and again, being a leader in one of the areas of education, I was one of the founding members of the Canadian Association of Financial Planners, for example, and I was one of the earliest CFP graduates. I also founded and created a diploma program, a 3-year diploma program in financial planning in one of the community colleges, which became one of the leading financial planning courses offered by universities across Canada. So what I did was I said, well, look, can I do the same thing in this wellness industry? Because one thing I found in this industry is the lack of education. I've been every time I go to GNC, for example, to buy my products, I have no idea what I should be getting, and no one offers me any help or any advice. So what I did was I created an association. I created the International Association of Wellness Consultants. And
there is one commonality I will point out to financial and products and your health products, is that they're both regulated products on some level. So you have to be, even if the product isn't regulated in health, what you can say about the product is regulated.
Correct, and I'm coming from, please keep in mind, I'm coming from a very highly regulated industry, so I know all about managing regulators and what to do to stay on side with compliance and regulatory issues.
Right.
So I'm very cognizant of that. And what I want to do, the business model that I have in mind is the exact same business model that I created my company, Fortune Financial, and my Infinity group of mutual funds, and that is, what I did at Fortune Financial was I had some proprietary products in the Infinity group of mutual funds, but we also sold every other product that's out there, stocks and other bonds, mutual funds, etc. What I would like to do in this new business is to do exactly the same thing, to have some of my own proprietary products, but also to be able to market other products that I feel fit into my overall objective, which is a total body systems approach it takes, as opposed to just vitamins or nutrition products, etc. So the vision is clear in terms of the type of the strategy I would like to use, which is quality products, a commitment to knowledge and education through the book I've written and other things that I plan to do. The challenge I'm faced with, as I point out to you guys, is how do I go about my marketing, given that my head says network marketers, scums of the earth, I don't want to have anything to do with them, but at the same time I recognize that that's been the #1 means of marketing.
Well, there's a relatively simple solution, which we won't give you right now, but to that. I mean, there really is. But did you look at other distribution models?
Well, the distribution models that are out there, one I can go after the retail outlet, the GNCs and the nutrition center and the nutrition shops and the grocery stores, etc. But I've got to fight for shelf space. The second channel is, of course, this network or multi-level marketing. I can go through professionals as well. Sorry?
What's the third channel?
Professionals.
What happened to direct marketing?
Yeah.
Well, that's the one I mentioned.
You said network.
No, you said
marketing.
network, and that's different.
You may have meant direct. You mean direct or network?
No, he
Network
means
is-
network.
He meant network.
He means network, but he may not have considered direct.
I mean, we know people that sell, sell $50 million a year of, Guthrie Rankers sells $800 million a year of products on infomercials, and that's pretty significant to me. Most of it are either cosmetics or supplements, and they're highly reconsumptive.
Well, that's why I'm here. The answer is no, I haven't really looked into that.
So maybe one of the questions might be for us to look at what is the most simpatico business model for you.
Yeah, what fits the values that you want to bring to the business?
That's right.
There was another question I had, which was looking through the list of things which you're offering. I couldn't figure out how they tied together. You know, there seem to be groups of them, but what's the background behind that choice of products?
My partner, again, I'm coming into this business not knowing anything about this particular field. I'm a money guy, I'm a financial services guy. But I met a brilliant biologist, a chemist, naturopathic doctor a couple of years ago, and he had a passion for the same type of things that I have, which is knowledge, education, doing what's right for the consumer, doing the honest, the right thing, the ethical things, etc. So we partner because I bring to the table the strengths that he doesn't have, which is the financial side of things and the marketing strength. And he, of course, brings the credibility and the skill in formulating products. And the approach that he wanted to take was, as opposed to just creating nutrition products or vitamin products, he wanted to create products that would help the whole systems of the body. And so the products that we're creating are products that will work on taking care of every part of your body. So, for example, instead of just coming out with a weight loss product, what we're calling it is a weight control program, which comprises of 3 capsules and a cream that works on specific parts of the body for celluloids, etc. Our menopausal product is the same thing. We have 3 capsules and a cream, because again, it's a program that works on the whole body. Again, we're taking exactly the same approach I took to the financial services side of the business, which says that there are no quick fixes. That with knowledge, with education, and with something that works on a complete system, maybe you'll just give yourself a fighting chance that things might work out, as opposed to quick fixes.
Is this basically an intuitive choice for your practitioner? Did you go through and say, here are the market segments, including male, female, when we're going to service the whole human spectrum? Or these are the products I like, or these are products we can produce a proprietary blend? How did we decide on the initial product line? Part of it was...
I missed the quantity. How many products are there in here?
I think there are 12 or 13.
No, actually there's 6.
And they range from
weight control to menopause, dietary supplement,
sexual
enhancement,
breast enlargement, a sexual enhancement for women, and HGH, a human growth hormone.
So it covers a lot of interest groups.
But part of it was marketing. Part of it was coming out with a line of products that will grab people's attention initially, and then we're going to add products.
So the real issue and challenge you have right now, only because I want to make sure we get done and get everybody out.
And I want to get it here.
No. I want to get right to the point. The real issue you're here for is
He wants
what?
to learn.
Say it again.
The real reason I am here is because I am wrestling with what is the most effective marketing strategy I should use, recognizing that I would like to take my business on a global scale. I don't want to play in North America. I want to go global, number one. Number two.
Currently, the product is being sold now, or it's still but the product exists.
I am going to be launching. My products are ready to go. We're going to be launching on May the 24th. Okay. My book is going to be out next week. The title of my book, Health, Wealth, and Happiness.
And is it hard, soft? Softbound, hardbound?
Softbound.
You're self-publishing?
No, this is my 4th book.
Yeah, who published?
Stuttered.
Okay.
In Canada.
And are they going to do a good job of distributing, or is your
well,
responsibility?
the purpose of the objective behind the book is not so much to sell in the bookstores, but it's a way of promoting.
I understand fully, but so you get to buy the book or you can reproduce it for cost, or
$3.50 and $26.95 in the bookstores.
Okay.
$6.95? $6.95?
$3.95
and
$26.95 in the bookstore.
Keep in mind, it's Canadian. It's Canadian. You're talking Canadian, so
that's in funny money.
So it's going to be like $13.50. Or is it like, is it half? What is it? Is it 3/4?
It's not that bad.
What is it? I'm sorry, I'm thinking Australia. One of them is like terrible.
$1.50.
One of them is terrible. Sorry, I apologize.
That's a whole issue,
It's going to be about $20, about $18.
There's a whole distribution model question, and his biggest underlying question is, if I'm hearing him correctly, is he seems to have gravitated on some logical grounds toward network marketing, but he despises network marketing at the same time.
But he exempts...
Except Brett.
Yeah.
Brett is out of that.
Brett would basically agree with you.
Brett, you know what? Brett, I must say you were entertaining. I love you, man.
But he would basically agree with you.
And I have a lot of respect. And I have a lot, Brett, and I have a lot of respect for you, buddy. A lot of respect. So please don't take this.
I could emotionally help you walk through that.
Okay. See, I'm sure you can.
His next field, he's going to be a male.
Well, I think we have the outlines. It's a little
We get it. I got it. Okay. It'll be our pleasure, man.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Cool. Thanks. Okay, Clive, where's Clive? Okay, I knew that. I just want to make sure you knew that. Come on up, Clive. How are you? Is this fun? All right. Okay. Tell us who you are, what you do, where you do it, who you do it for,
Is this on?
why
Yeah.
you're here. Yep.
What I do is I help people negotiate the best possible deal they can against the financial institutions and the government.
So like the other fellow from England and Ireland?
It's very similar.
But different application?
Well, yeah, everybody goes through life and they accumulate different financial products.
Okay.
And they end up with a total state of confusion, disarray, disorganization, lack of coordination, lack of integration. And we have a term for that. It's called junk drawer.
What?
Junk drawer.
Junk drawer.
Because what they have resembles the junk drawer that they have in their homes. Now, what's in that drawer may be very good, but it's very disorganized. So the other analogy I've used, and some of you have heard me make this analogy, is that we're engaged in a game of financial chess, and you don't know how well you're doing and how badly you're losing because you don't have a chessboard. And what I do is I bring a chessboard to the table. This is proprietary financial technology. It's accompanied by dedicated software. And when I see your information on this chessboard, I can tell you how much you're destined to lose over your lifetime.
So you've become a distributor for somebody else's package, more or less.
Well, I'm licensed to use this technology.
Right.
But you're not exclusively licensed.
No, there are about 5,000 licensees in the country, of which maybe half
In
own...
what country? Are you in the UK?
No, I'm here. I was
Okay.
born in Cape Town, but I've been here for about 20 years.
Okay.
So you do what? Once you got this license for using it. So who do you
Right.
go to and what do you exactly do?
So my clients are business owners, executives, and I look at their situation, and I'm licensed to sell certain financial products, life insurance, disability insurance, and annuities.
Can you tell us who you're associated with?
W agency.
Yeah, and
Who is it?
I represent, I have 2 contracts with different mutual insurance companies.
Is it, can you identify the companies, or do you not want to?
Would you prefer not, or you just?
I prefer not to,
Okay.
but you can ask me afterwards.
Okay, sure. Okay, so you got these contracts. So what do you do for your client?
The bottom line is that you have a choice in life. You can end up as person A or person B. Now, person A is going to end up with a lump sum of money, whatever it is. He may have sold his business, and let's say that amount of money is going to be $5 million. When that person is about 65, he's going to rely on that $5 million for income. And let's say he can earn a net after-tax rate of maybe 5%. So he's going to now limit his income for the rest of his life to $250,000. And if tax rates go up, if the market goes down, if inflation gets out of control, this guy, by the time 15, 20 years passes, he's going to be eating dog food because the value of his money is going to be so eroded. And that is what is happening today with people in Florida. They're going to 2-for-1 dinners at delis, and they're bringing 5 friends so they can eat for free. And if you get a limo at an airport, you often find the person driving is 67, 68, who's running out of money, or he may be packing your groceries at Walmart.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How long have you been a licensed financial advisor?
Well, from 1992 to 1996, I was just like everybody else, like the 99% of financial advisors.
But you were one.
Yeah, but then I discovered the
I want
system.
to hear what he does with person A. Don't you guys want to find out?
I want to see
What
person
he's
B.
leading
right?
up
No,
to
so
yeah.
Person A is already, he or she's
How did you
destined. We
solve
want to know
that problem?
person B.
Okay, so now if you look at your life on this chessboard, you will end up with my assistants and anyone who's properly licensed and competent, you will end up as person B. Now, person B could end up with as much in life insurance that stays on the books as the person has in assets. So person B would then end up with not only the 5 million in assets, but also with the 5 million in life insurance that remains on the books. Permanent life insurance. So I have yet to find a person in the country who, when I ask the question, would you prefer to be person A or person B, there's no one who said to me they prefer to be person A. Everybody wants to be person B, because if you're person B, you can spend down your principal. You can spend down the 5 million over time, and as a result, you will end up with much more income, much more money to enjoy while you're alive over your lifetime. And then when you die, the money that you've spent is replaced by the life insurance that stayed on the books. So if you arrange your financial affairs and you're aware of all the costs that are incurred as you go through life, and on my website I have an article called "What Are You Doing to Deal with the Pressure of Financial Gravity?" I've identified 36 wealth-eroding forces that are operating on people. So in effect, while they go through life, it's like they're running on a treadmill, running as fast as they can,
Okay,
sweating.
What is your website?
It's www.cliveswersky.com.
And Swersky is spelled S-W-E-R-S-K-Y.
Right.
And what are you here to do?
Well, this process is a very time-consuming process. And personally, when Paul asked the question, if you were to be unrealistic and think what you really want to do with your life, I've been wrestling with this issue that if I were to just become a practitioner for this system like everybody else, to me it's too confining, too limiting.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would like to do is create or distribute information like Jay has done with the drip marketing. Maybe set up some kind of educational course over a 5 to 10 week period and get people to come to my website and request a confidential questionnaire and complete it after I send it to them. And I would then like to get questionnaires coming to me and be able to distribute those questionnaires to people all around the country.
Who are licensed.
Or licensed.
You'd like to be a lead generator.
Right, but it has to be done very ethically.
Now, right now, is your practice successful and profitable?
No, I have not yet developed any real momentum.
Okay. So what do you do for livelihood right now? You've paid for this with money from some source.
Well, I'm relying on whatever possible means I can. I do have some income coming in.
From other sources?
Well, and also I do have some clients, and I am generating some income.
You were an attorney at one time, right?
I have been a tax attorney in my past, yeah.
So, but what you're saying is, looking at the whole thing, you're saying there are 4,999 other people like me out there who are really well skilled, and if they are delivered to a qualified, receptive, and appropriate prospect, they're going to close some number of them. I would rather not be the person presenting. There's plenty of those. I'd rather be the person creating them and disseminating them and either getting a fee or a share or both of them. Is that correct?
Yeah, except I would say there'd be about 1,000 good people in the country.
Okay, so it doesn't matter. You can find them.
And I would also continue to do it, but
Got
just
it.
the key.
We get it. Okay, cool. Okay, that helped. Thanks.
Good. Next.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
That's it.
If I am right for tonight, because we've only got the people, we're only doing the people who are going to be hot-seated live. The rest of you will be done on
Telephone.
on the telephone. And
So there's only one guy left, right?
so we have one more left.
Sam Malahati.
That is correct. Sam, where are you?
Down.
But Rick, can I have 1 second?
Before I go looking. Sam, did you fill out your questionnaire? Did you fill out the questionnaire in advance before you came? Okay. There's no page numbers.
Yeah, it's right here.
What page is that?
There's no page numbers.
No, but it's
So what do you think, Sam? Is this fun?
after Neil.
It's a blast.
Yeah.
It's after Neil.
It's page 9, 10.
You know, he's not ADD because he's got hair.
He's got hair.
I got hair.
Do you have ADD?
Actually, I don't. I'm a too
Should
big.
I be stripping, showing my chest?
Okay, go ahead.
My name is Sam Malhotra, CEO, founder of Subsystem Technologies. We are a professional services company, a consulting company for the federal government. And our clients include the FAA, the INS, now Department of Homeland Security, DEA, and the Army. And the kind of things that we do are varied. We do a radar system management for the FAA. We manage a weapon system, ammunition systems for the Army. We do some ethical hacking, overt hacking, and information assurance, risk mitigation for the DEA, FBI, and for the INS, we do some document asset management systems.
What's the through line? What holds them all together?
Yeah.
Second?
What holds these all together?
What's the lowest common denominator here?
Relationships. Relationships.
Now, what do you sell?
But what is the one universal aspect of your expertise?
Well, the common thread in all of them is professional services that comes from relationships that we've had.
How long you been doing this?
For 17 years.
Okay. And how'd you get started doing it?
I was with EDS. I grew up at EDS professionally. And when they got bought out by GM, they were asking to move the advanced technology division, which I was a part of, to Detroit. And I said no. And I went out on my own. And I said I could do this on my own. And
success is the sweetest revenge.
Yeah. Now, how big is the operation?
We're $10.5 million, about 140, 50 people.
Okay. And are they divisionalized, or is it all just one? How do you operate it?
We're very contract-driven. We have a national footprint. We're based in Washington, D.C., or just outside Washington, D.C. We have an office in Parsippany, New Jersey. We have an office in Chicago, and San Diego, Coronado to be exact, and Atlanta.
And
what do you want to do here?
Well, let's say first of all, yeah, the business you've gotten so far are relationships, and who does the selling?
Initially, it was me. My relationships that I had built that netted me some contracts with the government. Okay. And then along the way, picked up some very good people that had relationships with other people. Okay. So, for example,
you got some very strategic colleagues, partners, or associates that are very, very, very well connected.
Right. Okay. My chief operating officer.
Is that also one of the reasons why you got into all these diverse, different fields?
Right. It's all from relationships.
I get it.
All relationships.
Okay. Now I get it.
And I think it wasn't strategic by any means.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity that
it was opportunistic.
Recognized.
It was
yes,
opportunistic.
Very opportunistic.
Okay.
And so my chief operating officer is a retired naval officer. He's an aviator. The chief financial officer has been an auditor with one of the government agencies. And the president of the company has been a retired U.S. aide.
Okay, so pretty prestigious. Now, what do you do by day?
As opposed to by night?
Say that again?
I said, as opposed to by night. He said, yeah. What do you do by day?
Yeah, midnight.
No, you got a president running it, so what do you do?
Midnight engineering. The one thing that I'm responsible for is to make sure that the clients see me. Okay. And they get to have my home phone number. Not that they've never used it, but the fact that I'm willing to give it out.
And you interface with them all the time.
Absolutely.
So you're basically, you're not the rainmaker, but you're the focal presence. You are basically you're the persona. You're the persona of the business. Okay, is that good or bad?
It does limit your growth if you're the only one that can go.
No, I don't bring in the business. I'm there to shake the hand and let him know that.
How do you bring in the business then?
You know, he doesn't. He said he's got
How does business come in?
Well, the business comes in from relationships, number one. Number two, once we get into an agency, let's say FAA, we have FAA as an agency, but we have 7 different clients.
So do you have program managers?
A program manager that their whole responsibility is not just to run the projects, but to bring new business in. Yeah. And when we do it very effectively.
And have you trained them for this, or are you just hiring the right types, or do you have good processes?
When we win a business, we usually ask our clients if they know someone that could run this project. And 9 out of 10 times they'll tell us who to bring on board.
Wow.
But do you then train them in business development?
Yes, we have 2 functions that we do. One is business development and program management. We have contracted with Program Management Institute to make sure that they can execute on contracts.
So they get run through a rigorous training program?
Yes.
One is external, one's internal. You
That's
have your own
correct.
internal,
Business development.
and is
yeah.
it good?
No.
Probably, it's probably.
What's the growth rate?
It's growing
The
just fine,
growth
but
rate-
you're not making a lot of profit.
Right. We're going at a pretty good click. We ran from 97, we were at 5 million, so now we're about 10.3. And next, by the end of September, which is our fiscal end, we'll be about $13 million.
Are you a professional
So you know
partnership?
what? That's not bad. in
No,
this.
no, we're a C Corp.
You're a C Corp.
A C Corp.
So you're a principal, anybody else?
Is it all yours?
Right, no, my father is my partner.
So, but none of these, none of your project
No.
managers or principals and
No.
business developers?
No.
And do you have profit sharing or?
Right, we have a profit sharing plan?
Phantom stock or?
No,
just
nothing.
profit
But very
sharing?
It's clean.
loyal and fiercely
Right.
dedicated people?
Over the last 3 rolling years, our retention rate has been 98%.
Is that good or bad?
It's
I mean,
a-
part of it's good, but
Well,
attrition isn't necessarily bad.
No, no, I got it. But it's the way you look at it.
But
I
you're
mean,
saying the quality people you wanted to stay did.
They are.
Stayed differently.
And-
People
and-
you wanted, they stayed.
Would you
Yeah.
say your compensation levels are some of the highest in the industry?
They're high. They're high.
But are the quality of
Which
people higher
explains
too?
the attrition rate.
Do you have
Right.
the real?
Our metric of success is not how much revenue we produce in 1 year, but the contracts that we win are for 5 years. And to be able to take that one cycle and move it into the next 5-year cycle is our measure of success.
Without
Sam,
getting,
you said you have 50 people?
No.
150.
150 people.
So, and is your whatever correlated figure, is your, whatever you referred to, is the rate of rollover really high from the 1 5-year to the next?
Yes. FAA has been with us since 1990, INS since 1988.
Wow, that's pretty.
now you said you're a C Corp, and your nominal profits have stayed relatively stable for a while. Has your principal's compensation increased during that period of time?
What we have done is we have tied it into a factor. We all get a base salary of X, and then we tie that to our total revenues.
What about you and
So-
your father? I'm worried about you. I mean, I'm rather than about you and your father. You work yourself on the same formula as everyone else?
Yes, that's correct.
So your compensation has increased relative to the general revenues
That is
increase?
correct. Yeah. As the revenue goes up, my personal take goes up. So it keeps me responsible for the company as well. And so the management team is responsible.
What's the growth opportunity, Sam?
And where?
We have seen companies like ours, a very similar model, go to $300 to $400 million.
What occurred for that to happen?
Bring in strategic marketing.
Okay.
And
Like
whereas
PRC and MITRE, and is that who you're talking about?
Well, I'm talking about Signal. You're
Signal,
in
yeah.
very similar town as I am. I mean, that's a perfect model. Grew out of a very small company, moved to be 300 organically, without any acquisitions, and it's very possible.
Do you know what their strategy was besides growth, besides direct sales?
Signal?
Those companies are usually
Yeah.
driven by direct sales.
Sorry, about
no.
what sales?
Direct sales.
They have a very professional field
Ex-military
sales.
guys
yeah.
going in and closing deals.
Yeah, the sales cycle is about 18 months, a typical sales cycle. Then once a project is won, then you get into the tactical mode of knocking on doors on each of within the halls and being able to ferret the business out. And we don't do that well.
So how many rainmakers do you have?
2.
Okay, all right. And are they full-time doing it?
They're full-time doing it.
Did you initially want to work on Perot's original business model of doing outsourcing government projects at lower cost and higher efficiency than the government could do it themselves?
No,
That wasn't your model?
that was not the model.
You wanted to take on projects they couldn't do internally?
That's correct.
And did you have the expertise right from the get-go, or did you have to acquire it?
Acquire it.
We got it.
Yeah.
What, you got it?
We got it.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Well,
It's really fun.
so one question,
Yeah.
which is, what do you want? You want an exit
Yeah,
strategy?
what do you want
What
to walk away with at the end of this?
Right. 2 very specific things. One is implementation of a strategic marketing program, which we have none. And number two, we want to grow it to 60 million and then look at whether acquisition or exit is a possibility. I mean, 60 million is the number where we
Do you have
think
another
we can.
generation in the family to come into the business?
I don't think there's an interest. I have a teenage son, but I don't think there's an interest.
Are you committed to organic growth? Are you committed to growing it organically?
Are you passionate about it?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, as opposed to an acquisition strategy.
We talked about acquisition at the table that we were at, and my experience has been 1 out of 10 acquisitions work in my research. Okay?
In your field?
In my field.
Yes.
And knowing that we do not have the bandwidth in place right now or a model to acquire will hurt us. It'll truly dilute our focus. Yeah, you know, the deal is the one thing, but after the deal, the integration of the systems, integration of the culture,
But
don't know how to do.
you are fundamentally a professional services company without any core products.
That is correct.
It's a perfect company for acquisition.
It is, because
It's a
you don't
perfect
need
acquisition
to integrate something into your model.
You have the easiest kind of company to grow by acquisition.
Don't tell him yet.
Okay, we won't tell you yet.
Okay, we get
Take
what we
it
need.
back.
We got it. Okay, cool.
Right, absolutely.
All right, thank you. Great. Thanks a lot. This will be fun. Okay, all right. Good, thanks. He's doing great. I really like him. It's so funny. We have a friend in common who, I mean, he's so cool. You remember Glenn Rothman? Yeah. He figured out how to turn a commodity into a proprietary he gets 20% premium for. That's pretty neat, isn't it? Diamonds? Everyone else gets X, he gets 20% because he's created a better cut that's shinier.
He
in
has
his
branded
color.
diamonds?
Branded diamonds. Is that pretty interesting? And he's had Forbes write about him, and I'm really tickled because he came to us like years ago. He was little when he came to us. He took the training and just went zoom. Really cool. Okay, well, guess what? Because I got to get you off to dinner because I don't want it to be unenjoyable for you. I need you to do the following. Rick, do we have any homework assignments for them? We do. Whatever you didn't read last night, you got to read tonight. Number one. Number two, you got to, I'm seeing people sitting with people that I've seen them sitting with before, which you do whatever you want. If I had a chance to interact with the better part of 130 really enlightened and quality people who come at life and business from so many focal thrusts, all coming together to collaborate intimately, candidly, and enthusiastically to help each one be the best they can, I would avail myself of that because you're not going to get that at home.
Ask them at Scout's Honor at dinner that they share at least one insight.
Oh, that's the next thing. You got. I mean, you got to have at least one extraordinarily new insight that has evolved from the last time you made a declaratory statement to one another. You talked about what you got. I need you at dinner to share with at least 10 people before you go to your room what your current insight is and the implication/application it's going to have to you. And then at 7:30 tomorrow, Chet's going to do what?
Implementation.
Implementation, which will be critical, very critical.
Everybody who went today, I'm going to give you something.
It'll be cool. It'll be cool. It's going to go bam, 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 bam. It'll be fun. And then starting at about 9, you'll stop right at 9. At 9:15, we will start literally taking the people that you met today and one by one working through their strategic marketing game plan and all the general tactics. And it'll be a really powerful thing. And Earl, where's Earl here? Earl's going to explain the strategic marketing encyclopedia to you and how to use it tomorrow. It's going to be fun. And this was a great day. And I know sometimes it's hard. You guys have been great. We've been great. And I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you took a lot of notes and you didn't get dazed, even when sometimes went a little slow and we had to draw things out. People are here for us to help them. You're here for us to help you. Our job is to do everything in our power to help you get whatever you consciously want and even more so what you subconsciously need. So we're committed over the next 3 days. We'll see you tomorrow, 7:30 for Chet. Thanks. That's cool. What do you think?